how to take back control of your life. Before I get into what you need to be doing, I'm gonna get into what you need to stop doing. You need to stop trying to change everything all at once, right? Here's an example, drugs. We all know you shouldn't do drugs. People still do drugs. Why? Because they're addicted to them. If I am addicted to a drug and I try to go cold turkey, I try to stop all at once, the likelihood of me actually kicking that habit, that bad habit, it's low. It's very low. So many people who vape, like if your friends vape, they'll be like, yeah, I'm quitting after this one. I'm quitting after this one, right? And then that vape dies or whatever, and they throw it away, and then they start fiending so hard, they hit their friend's vape, and then they buy a new one, and then they're done, right? When it comes to consistently doing the correct habits and reaching your goals, you need to slowly integrate them. Just like a drug, right? You need to wean yourself off the drug. You need to wean yourself into the good habits. So instead of, all right, today, I've never meditated before, but I'm going to meditate for an hour. Then I'm going to read for an hour, even though I haven't read in a year. I'm not saying you can't do it. You could definitely get that done today, but being able to do it tomorrow is going to be a lot harder. So it'd be better off if you just start, all right, let me meditate for 5 minutes today. Let me read one chapter of this book, one page of the book, right? If you slowly start and then you can start ramping it up. Like me, I used to meditate every day for 10 minutes. And I could do it and I was fine. And then something changed in my schedule and I stopped meditating. Now if I try to meditate for 10 minutes, I can't do it. I can't, it's unbearable. And if I do it, the next day I don't meditate because my brain is so oh, that's so much work. That's so hard. I don't want to do it. And I end up not doing it. So now I'm trying to meditate for 5 minutes to rebuild that habit so I can stay consistent and actually do it. Circling back to drugs. The reasons you shouldn't do drugs, the fact that I'm even pointing this out to you is absurd. You know why you shouldn't do drugs. But you're taking away happiness from tomorrow. It feels good to do the drug now, but then your quality of life later is worse. And I'm not talking about 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, you finally get lung cancer or whatever. I mean, the next day, your brain won't be able to get as much pleasure doing simple activities. Now back to meditating. Meditating consistently will help you focus in general, right? Because the act of meditation isn't having no thoughts, but it's the ability to recognize that you're having a thought and getting out of that thought and going back to what you're focusing on, being your breath most of the time. So if I'm trying to do some deep thinking work and all of a sudden I get distracted by a thought, then depending on how long I stay on that thought is how much focus I'm losing from my actual work. So if I'm consistently meditating, right, I'm doing my work, whatever, I get a thought, then boom, I instantly bring myself back, refocus my attention, and keep doing my work. And that'll help you be more productive. Go to the gym. You need to go to the gym. Do some hard training. Level it up like a video game. You guys don't realize you're leveling up in video games when you should be leveling up in real life. In a video game, you're going, oh, I do this, oh, I get XP, oh, my character gets stronger. Do it in real life. Go to the gym. Hit bench press. Hit something. Do some pull-ups. Do some push-ups. You can level up that skill. You can try, even if you don't want to go to the gym, you can start doing calisthenics. You can see how many push-ups you get today and then try beating that tomorrow and level up the skill and get stronger. That's really good just as a sense of accomplishment. Feeling like you accomplished something. Wow, last week I could only do 10 push-ups. I accomplished 20 push-ups today. I'm so excited. It's really good for your mental health. Next one is reading. Reading has helped me a lot in my life. And recently, I've been trying to read books that align with my goals and self-improvement. There's a book I started reading, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I've been trying to incorporate those strategies into day-to-day life. And I feel like it's really helped. There's another book I've been reading called The Great Rat Race Escape by J.K. DeMarco. I am not done with it. quarter of the way. I've been reading it. It's a big book, but basically it explains from wage slavery to wealth. It explains the concept of us being in a rat race and what rich people do to be outside of that rat race, control their rat race, and profit off of it. And I think it's really good because it's just been helping me understand money and the fundamentals of just how our society works and how wealth can be generated and created. Speaking of social skills, the next thing you should be doing to gain back control of your life is leveling up your social skills. As I said, reading is one great way you can do that. The other one is practice. Literally. What I've been trying to do is cold approach people, and it works. Am I good at it? Not really. Am I getting better? Yeah. For example, the other day, I was at the beach, and I started cold approaching people so they play spike ball with us, and it worked, and I made new friends. And then previously, I went to the beach a lot over spring break, and we didn't have any games, so I would go up to people with spike ball, and I'd just be like, hey, can I play? And they're like, yeah, sure. And you joke around, you have fun, you can build those social connections. If you don't know, spike ball is a game where there's a net on the ground, you have a ball about this big, you hit on the ball, you hit the ball in the net, and it bounces up, and you pass it to your teammates, and they hit back down the net. That's basically it. But it's a really fun game, and I just use that to socially interact and get better. We did the same thing with cornhole. We brought it, and we went up to people asking them to play. Joined a random football game on the beach. If you really don't know where to go to make friends or just to interact socially, and you live on a spot of the planet where the beach is close to you and you can get there quite easily, I feel like that's a really good place to just go and experiment with socializing. The more you build up your social skills, the better your relationships will be, the less lonely you will be, the more room there is for collaboration and networking. And we as humans, we need to interact. So leveling that up will just help you in general and help you in other places in your life also. Delaying gratification. What I mean by that, for example, right? If I were to play an hour of video games and I were to try to do the dishes, I'm not saying doing the dishes is hard. It's not. It's easy. It's a simple task. It's just a chore. But it'd be kind of, I wouldn't say difficult, but just frustrating, and it'd be annoying, right? It's a chore. But if I were to meditate or do a good habit beforehand, doing the dishes, I wouldn't say it'd be fun, because nobody likes doing the dishes, but it'd be easier to do because your brain isn't so used to the dopamine, right? So if I'm just sitting there and I'm getting a ton of pleasure from something, and I have to go and do something that will cause me discomfort, it will be a lot more discomfort because my brain was used to the pleasure that it was getting. So delaying gratification can help you in a lot of ways because it'll make your workout better. It'll make it easier to read. It'll make it easier to meditate. It'll just make it easier for you to follow your goals and do the tasks that you want to do because they're just easier to do because your brain hasn't been receiving so much pleasure, so it's easier to do things that dissatisfy you. Work hard, do better, improve yourself. Have a great day.